Physics, the study of matter and its motion through space and time. Most people are familiar with this word, but many don't know what it entails. In this video, I'd like to show you a little bit about what physics is and a little bit about who the people that study physics are. I hope that this video will change your idea of what physics is and maybe even pique your interest in the future. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
Alright, so right now I'm going to give everyone a quick tour of the physics department. This is the electronics lab. Right now nobody's using it. We've got a lot of breadboards and a lot of oscilloscopes, multimeters, stuff like that, wires, pretty much everything you need to do for our electronics class. Like I said, no one's really using it right now, so there's really not a whole lot going on. But this is the main research lab. There's really no classes taught in here. The big thing that we use a lot is this is a Mach-Zehnder interferometer over the summer and up till now. Me and a couple other students have been working on this. And this is our workstation computer. Over the summer, I had to write a program using LabVIEW. I can't get it to turn on. And the program basically ran all of this stuff, so I had to run that DC power supply right here, this laser, and all this stuff right here. And then we also had to make it so it could interface with this little camera right here. And if I can find the photodiode, which I'm not sure where they put that, oh, it's right there. We had to make it so that the program could interface with this oscilloscope so it could get some readings off of that photodiode. And now that the computer's turned on, I can show everybody what it is we worked on all summer. It's about to load. So this is a program we made. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Basically you can put in whatever you desire frequency you want for the interferometer, and it will tell the power supply how much voltage to give it, and then you can get your waveform from the photodiode right here. And that's actually just the front part of it. Click show block diagram. This is the actual program we had to do all summer. So we made this whole thing. There's each channel, and then right down here is a separate little. It's called a virtual instrument for to communicate with the oscilloscope. So that's pretty much what we did all summer. Like I said, this is like the main research lab, and there's a few more rooms. Over here is the optics lab, which also isn't being used because they're not offering an optics class. Somebody's doing something with it, I'm not really sure though. And then lastly, we have the atomic lab, which really isn't much of an atomic lab as much as it's just a whole bunch of random different experiments that are going on in here. The big one is over here. We've got this nuclear spectroscopy experiment, which isn't set up right now. But you've got this really old computer that you use to extract data because our department doesn't get a lot of funding. Besides that, this is pretty much it. I spent a lot of time in here, as you can see, working on stuff. Right now I'm working on some linear algebra because physics majors have to take a lot of math classes. And yeah, it's pretty much a typical day, or typically what we do in the physics department.
To get some different point of views on the physics major, I decided to interview a few of my classmates and see what they thought about majoring in physics.
Alright, so what's your name and what class are you?
My name is Alexander Polka. I'm a senior at UMW.
Alright, so what made you want to get into physics?
Well, it all started when I was a freshman at Germana. I originally was going to go in as majoring in physical therapy, but as soon as I had I always was good with math, and once I saw physics, I immediately fell in love with it. And once I had my first physics class, or during it, I had to sit down and just do some thinking about, should I change my major? And ultimately, I just decided to say yes. I want to change my major to physics, and I have not regretted it. I love everything about it.
All right. Now, what do you want to do with physics in the future?
Okay, so right now, my ambition is to become a nuclear reactor engineer. I, for some reason, have a large attraction to nuclear power plants. I like how they operate. I'm actually doing a presentation on how they operate next week. Yeah, and so that's what I want to do. I've thought about other branches, but I just like or other branches of physics and stuff, but I like the nuclear physics and the nuclear engineering aspects. So that's what I want to do.
All right. Now, what do you think? Why do you think people are so turned off by physics? Most people, when you say you're a physics major, at least for me, they look at you like they've seen a ghost.
I wouldn't say they're turned off. I think they're more astonished, maybe, or just I think there's a combination of things why people are either scared of physics or intimidated by it. I think most of it has to do with the workload. I'm not gonna lie. There are times where you pretty much don't have a life, but it's very liberating once you understand the concepts and you gain this knowledge about how things work and able to explain that to other people's very satisfying for me. I think it also is maybe a cultural thing, but this is just my opinion of seeing other people react and what they're studying. That's just how it is here. A lot harder subjects are mostly avoided, but you have those people that want to take the path less traveled, and so that's what I think.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for this. So thanks for doing this, Alex.
Of course.
What's your name and what class are you in?
My name is Macy, and I'm a senior.
All right. Why did you decide to major in physics?
My dad used to work for NASA, and so as a kid I grew up kind of just asking why. And so when I learned I could do math, I decided to study physics.
All right. What do you want to do with physics?
I'm looking at going into graduate school for astronomy and specifically the study of exoplanets.
All right. So why do you think people are so turned off by physics, or like why don't they? When you say I major in physics, they kind of act like they've seen a ghost.
They do. I think a lot of people are turned off because it's so complex, and a lot of people run away from math to begin with. And I think math is an essential part of physics, and they just kind of think it's too complicated. But when you start from the bottom, it really makes a lot of sense. And I just think that they think it's too hard, but it's not.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Macy. Name and what class are you in?
I'm Nick Gabriel, and I'm a senior right now.
All right. So why did you decide to major in physics?
Well, in high school, I had a really smart physics teacher. He actually had a PhD in high energy physics, and I thought that he was really smart, and I wanted to be like him. So I thought that I wanted to get a PhD as well. And so basically, I majored in physics in order to do that.
All right. So what do you want to do with physics?
Ideally, I'd like to become a professor, but in all likelihood, I think it will just prepare me to do some kind of interesting job where I'm solving problems and doing something interesting.
All right. So do you have like an actual field that you're interested in, or?
Yeah, I'm interested in high energy physics, and I'm applying to grad school right now to work on high energy experimental research. But I also like theory, so I'm leaning towards exploring that as well.
All right, and then the last thing is, why do you think people are turned off by physics, or like most people, when you say physics, they look like they're kind of scared to take the class?
Well, I think probably because it's hard, and it's especially when you aren't familiar with doing physics, it also appears a lot harder than it really is. Because, a lot of times when you work on a problem, you'll see that it's actually not so complicated if you just have a little bit of experience with what you're doing.
Right, plus it all builds on itself. I mean, if you look at like a, really hard problem without knowing anything, it's not going to make any sense.
Yeah,
But you got to know everything beforehand,
Yeah,
right?
so it takes a lot of persistence, and I think at the end of the day, a lot of people just aren't super interested in physics, so all that hard work wouldn't really be paying off for that.
Right. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Nick.
So, as you can see, physics is really just like any other major. I hope after watching this you've garnered an interest in physics and maybe even want to take a class in the future. Thanks for watching.